And I'm sure the crowd can give them both some encouragement right here. I bring you, in the southeast, in the red trunks, the one and only DIMAGA! And his opponent, having taken 2 games from him. Game 1 and 2 taken by Mana, who was looking incredibly strong position before DIMAGA turned on beast mode and got right back into the fight. He is in the northwest of the crevasse. He is in the green trunks, and his name is Mana!
As a surprise to a lot of people, neither of these players actually won a large offline event before. They are both very strong players. They've won their respective cups online, but they both have been looking for that tournament win for a while now. And obviously we talked about Mana being in DreamHack Winter and looking for the win there. Then lots and lots of second places. DIMAGA, on the other hand, hasn't really had a big win ever. I mean, he's won tournaments online here and there, but he hasn't even got top 3 before in an offline tournament. The biggest success he had was definitely in the GSL World Tournament.
Yep, and you know what I say to that? Hell, it's about time. And we shall see exactly who wins this particular matchup and who will take their first major offline event.
And it's, like you said, it's about time for both of these players to actually get a huge tournament win and a huge prize payoff. They've been playing so well for a long time. They deserve that 8,000.
They worked so very hard for that. They both deserve it. There's no question about that. Mana opening Forge first. Not confident to go Nexus first at all by the looks of it.
But there are 2 probes scouting around Total Biscuit. He's been a little bit cautious here, making sure there was no early aggression. And look at this here. This probe is going to... Oh, no, he decides not to do it, interestingly enough. And he was thinking about cannon rushing in the final against DIMAGA. And to be honest, it could have worked. But then I'm sure he actually looked over to his right and saw the biceps of DIMAGA pumping and thought that's a pretty bad idea.
Well, would I like 8,000 euros or... I don't know. Would you like 8,000 euros?
Like, would you like 8,000 euros and also cheese and a punch from DIMAGA?
And be punched in the face. Well, I don't know. It might be worthwhile, but evidently he's decided not to do that. Honestly, a cannon rush, difficult to achieve against DIMAGA anyway. Very, very small natural area that would be immediately covered in creep. And DIMAGA would no doubt try his utmost in order to shut that down. And I don't believe that either of these players wants that. And Mana with the safe one-off right here.
He actually did think about doing it and then pulled out, which is really interesting. Just decided not to do it. So we are going to see a drawn-out game again. The Nexus, the Nexus has been put down here after that Forge and Gateway, and it is pretty safe from a lot of busts, though they're still viable. The fact that this DIMAGA is at 100 gas already, and it's a little bit of variety from him here, is that usually he'd prefer to get a fast third, whereas in this case he's gone for speed a lot faster. And is he taking off gas? That is a question, Total Biscuit. And no, he has not.
No, he has not. And that, of course, is indicative of the idea that you want to tech. You want to get some buildings. You want to get some kind of unit. And you would like to kill your opponent, which I'm told is actually a really great strategy, one way or the other. And Mana is going to have to resist some kind of pressure.
There is a probe down at that 3rd base. So DIMAGA can't really do any... super aggressive play because the probe will literally go in and scout it. So, and the probe is going to be under fire now. A Queen will move to the edge of the ramp. So now DIMAGA's safe to do whatever he wants. Right now, still not deciding on what that is.
That's a lot of
gas.
He
has a lot of gas saved up, and now the probe dies. What is DIMAGA's decision? It looks like a 3rd base. But what is... I mean, he's at 250 now. This is really interesting. And maybe a mistake, maybe not, but he was saving up gas for something.
What is he doing with the gas? One has to wonder. A player of this caliber does not make mistakes. That's, of course, the rich Vespine at the back right there. Double evolution chamber, a possibility, a very upgrade-heavy build. He's going for a lair. So I have to wonder. Lair plus Roach, probably plus a lot of upgrades, I would imagine, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, it is the rich Vespine guys. There's only 3 really...
Yeah, he can afford to keep mining in it, I suppose.
And also to think that even if he pulls off the base here at the back, it doesn't have that many mineral patches either.
No,
so pulling off 3 drones wouldn't really benefit him that much. So he's just kind of kept in there, can save up all that gas, and doesn't need to get the second and third gas very fast either, because he has saved up that amount. But over here we do have, again, another Stargate play and another Void Ray. But look at the kind of line outside of Mana's base. Aside from that link, there's the Overlord on the left, the Overlord on the right, and another Zergling on that Zalnoga tower, which is going to get sniped, unfortunately, though.
Mana couldn't really put this in a better position, though. I think he's even aware of the positions of these Overlords. He knew exactly where to put it. He's placed it right in the center.
Zergling gets trapped. No scouting for you.
No, I think not. And it really wasn't going to get in anyway. Honestly, it would have been shot to pieces by the cannon before it managed to get past. Whatever the case, we've got Mana now rolling out with a single Void Ray, which is going to run right into that Overlord. So that's going to reveal that strategy immediately.
And he does know he can build a Spore Crawl. He builds one, and I'm sure we'll see a couple more to protect the mineral bases from Void Ray and the Phoenix, which are going to follow this up at the same time. DIMAGA's not being so greedy. This is a problem we see a lot of Zerg players do in a competitive scene, where they go ahead, they keep going for that 50, 60, 70 drone mark. DIMAGA's literally stopped at 44, and is like, I am not losing this game because I overdrone. I am not going to lose that way. And he's building up a nice amount of units for any form of pressure. And now he scouts. Mana moving down, sees the pylon and knows it's going to be fast third. Now is the time that you can go for it.
You're absolutely right about so many Zerg players actually losing to overdroning. It's a real problem. I think that Zerg players have got into their minds that they can just drone whenever they like. That is, of course, not the case. DIMAGA is going to keep pushing forward after taking some pressure from this Void Ray. Thing is that one Void Ray does take a while to actually chew its way through these roaches, and I have to wonder what he really intends to do here, other than to just throw these at the wall of Mana, who's going to be well prepared.
I wonder if staying on the lower ground for Mana and building this Nexus is the right decision. He could have pulled back and just built up more units and then pushed down again. But the Void Ray, as you said, is charged. It's at 6 kills already. Another Roach is going to go down. But look at all these +1 Zerglings coming in.
The +1 upgrade, very, very powerful, one would think. But actually, he's going in for it nonetheless. And there we go. The +1 is not quite finished the engage. A couple of seconds before he needed to. And Mana may be able to hold this, but he's taking a lot of pressure on that Nexus. And if that goes down, that could be disastrous.
And the sentries are all sniped off. He's going to get the surround on the Zealot as well. He can get the cannon, the pylon, and that Nexus. And I still question the decision for Mana to stay on the lower ground. And it is so close.
He's able to save the Nexus for the time being. He took a lot of punishment. Let's find out who took more. DIMAGA actually lost a little bit more, but he can afford it. He's on 3 fully functional bases, and that Nexus almost went down. He can afford a slight difference at this point. He did put a lot of pressure on him. He wasted a lot of gas.
And he also killed all the units, well, a lot of those units, which means there's not going to really be a counter-attack, which means he can upgrade, he can drone a little bit harder, he can take a pulse a little bit sooner. And right now we have the Panathen Glance, the +2 melee tech, a 4th going down. And we see the Robotics Bay once again going down, and this Phoenix scouts that 4th immediately.
Yep, he sees it, he knows what's up. The question is, will the Heroic Queen be able to deflect that Void Ray? The answer is, of course, no, they can't, but their friend is here. And off goes the Void Ray. And once again, DIMAGA with this huge Queen count. And I'm loving this. I really, really am. There's been so many pieces of theorycraft that have said, what would happen if you happen to have also 10 Queens at this stage of the game? And DIMAGA is one of these players that is actually increasing the Queen count far beyond the usual levels. And you know what? It's paying dividends for him.
A lot of Zerglings have been made now, 40 in total down at this 3rd base. He's gone into the Extractors now, and in come the Festa count. The Panathen Glance upgrades has been completed. An Overlord goes down, sees the double assimilators being made, knows that this is going to be a gas-intensive build, which could already throw DIMAGA's thought process into, well, what's gas-intensive? Well, a lot of Colossus at this time. Yep. And 2 additional gateways have been thrown down as well. Look at this, the mineral count for DIMAGA, 1,700 currently.
That's a lot of minerals. He must be waiting for a huge amount of lava. He's actually droning up again, if you can believe it. And I have to wonder if this is a smart play. That said, his opponent is gearing up for an attack. He hasn't started it just yet. And DIMAGA has a lot of lava and a lot of cash to play with, and is now taking a 5th.
I know, he's playing so well right now. And he is taking that 5th base. He has a macro hatch as well. No, actually, no, he doesn't. No, don't worry, guys. And now we do have the hive being made, the Spire as well, which is really nice to transition into that. And now he's at this kind of comfort zone, 73 drones, where he can build nothing but units right now. And Mana at the same time is adding on another 2 gateways. That brings the total up to 6 in the main, 8 with the 2 down there with this robotics bay. Getting that thermal lance out, we are going to see Blink being researched immediately and going for Storm here with the Templar Archives.
Is it really surprising that in the final game of this series with so much money on the line, he goes back to his standard, his trademark, which is of course the mighty Mana Storm. The question is, will he get the opportunity to use it? Because I don't think DIMAGA is going to wait around for that.
Indeed not, and we are seeing DIMAGA pushing to the center of the map, and Karass is all about the center of the map because StarCraft 2 is so much about position, so much about engagements. When you control the center of this map, it makes it a lot easier, and DIMAGA is looking quite keen to go in. He's going to test the water. 3 Zerglings C, not that much. I'm not sure if they actually saw that Colossus, which I'm sure if he did, he would not be going in here.
This would be risky. It's still +2. He's got 18 reinforcing. He's got now 136 Zerglings. The standard amount, I suppose, for DIMAGA at this stage of the game. 15 minutes and 136 Zerglings, and Infested Terrans going for it right now, but immediately blocked off by some exceptional force fields, and now this Colossus is tearing through the Zergling count on the left flank.
A lot of Thunderbolts going down here, and now the Zerglings have been unlocked into the army, and oh my god, this army is melting so fast.
Much blood right here. DIMAGA is going for it. The +2 upgrade is giving him what he needs. The Colossus taking 36 kills. It's now trapped in the corner, and DIMAGA needs reinforcements immediately to make this work because Mana will hold for the time being.
How are Broodlords for reinforcements, Total
That
Biscuit?
seems
Because
to
we
do
have
the job.
Corruptors now coming in. We have the Greatest Spy, 40 more Lings. DIMAGA is actually on the verge of winning his first major offline event.
Oh yes, he's looking really strong at the moment. 14 Infestors in the mix. A lot of Zerglings were thrown at him, but when you're on 5 bases, do you really care if you lose 130 Zerglings when you did the job? The army count supply, you can see it. It tells the story in itself. 88 to 41. The worker supply in DIMAGA's favor as well. Map control in DIMAGA's favor. Tech in DIMAGA's favor. Is there anything which isn't, I have to wonder at this point?
And what DIMAGA accomplished there was to wear that Protoss army down.
Oh yes.
Protoss are always looking to hit you when they're at 200, when they are fully upgraded. DIMAGA says no, he knows he has the economy. He wears it down. He now remaxes back to 200. He now sits here on this higher ground waiting and ready to launch the final death blow onto Mana.
Here comes the High Templar, but it's not going to be enough. They're not going to be quick enough. Some feedbacks go off on those Infestors, but there we go. A huge amount of Infested Terrans landing on there, and big pressure coming in. Does he have the Broodlords yet? He does not. He's continually smashing his way into the forces, covering his opponent in Infested Terrans. Mana's army melts, and the third is, without question, annihilated.
And DIMAGA is getting a little giggly over there. I can see him relaxing a little bit. He knows he's doing so well at the moment. Mana trying everything to stay in this game. This is all or nothing right now. This Nexus is under a lot of fire though. The Infested Tyrant time X3 day is gonna wear out, and they have to go away.
Go away is one way of putting it. Actually shoots himself in the head, as you can see right there. Very unpleasant. Whatever the case, we've got 7 Broodlords coming in, and this could potentially be the death blow on Mana, who is not looking healthy at all at this point. 95 supply to 199. A single Archon will be morphed in an effort to save Mana at this point. I don't think that's going to be enough, because here comes DIMAGA again. He is on the